Our next guest today is Wendy
Chesser.
Chesser. All of a sudden, Wendy, that went out of my mind. I was thinking about that old supervisor of yours. Anyway, Wendy, thanks for being here today. Wendy is the Family Resource Youth Services Coordinator
Yes.
for North Washington School
Yes.
in Washington County. So welcome.
Thank you.
Well, Wendy, I'm glad you could be here today. Earlier on this program, we had we talked about foster care. And, here it is, Christmas time, almost, and people are getting ready for Christmas. And one of the issues that are important to me, and I think to our audience, are children. They're our future. And so we think of children and their families that might be in need. And as the Family Resource Youth Service Coordinator, that's a mouthful, as we all know.
It is.
And Frisky is the common name, I
Yes.
think, acronym. So, Wendy, tell me what the Family Resource Center does.
Each center is individual to the school. So my center at North Washington may look different than the center at Washington County or the center in a different county. We cater to what the school needs. So mostly that's going to be breaking down barriers to learning. So that might be helping with children who don't have food to eat at home, they're hungry and they can't focus in school. Helping children who their shoes are too tight and they can't focus, or their clothes don't fit, things like that. So we do a lot of the basics, things that we take for granted. And then we do other programs to supplement and to enhance the education. And that's where a lot of it is individualized according to what the school needs or benefits most from.
So these would be barriers to learning.
Absolutely.
And of course, we want our children to become educated. And you are in an elementary school, first through preschool even.
We're actually daycare, preschool through 8th grade.
Okay.
So we have elementary and middle school.
And so, do you work with the daycare and preschool as well?
I do to an extent, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the services that we provide, we kind of extend it out so that they could take part in it too.
Mm-hmm. So now, for example, if a child was hungry, of course they get their meals at school, and might very well. I think now Washington County is going to get free lunches.
Yes.
For everybody.
Yes, all students get free lunches this year for Washington County Elementary, Middle, and North Washington Elementary and Middle.
Yeah.
The high school didn't qualify this year. So.
Okay. And that's based on income, of the incomes of the
kind of
school.
like an accumulative income of all the families.
Right, all the family. And so that's a wonderful program in and of itself to have free. What about breakfast?
Breakfast and lunch.
Breakfast
Both free.
and lunch.
It's great. It's wonderful.
That is, yeah.
And then another thing that we do to kind of help with the hunger issue is we have a backpack food program that's actually sponsored by the UK Extension Office here in Springfield, Roberta Hunt, and she uses the 4-H team leaders and all kinds of other groups, and she advocates for it and fundraises, and then she sends all the payment to Feeding America, and they send us the backpack food bags, and it's a bag of food that we put into certain children's backpack on Thursdays or Fridays. We do it for the weekend, so that way they have things they can prepare themselves, and they can eat over the weekend so that they won't be too hungry.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of things like ravioli and peanut butter, and if they are not allergic, crackers and things that they can take care of themselves. So it's a really good program.
Yeah.
And we're really, really grateful to the Extension Office for all that fundraising. And if anybody would like to make a donation, then definitely contact the Extension Office. That's an awesome program to sponsor.
Yeah. I know several of our clubs in Washington County have donated to that program. So that's a good thing. And in addition to that, then besides the food issue, you have the clothing issue.
Absolutely, yeah. We keep a clothing closet. We keep it stocked with pants, shirts, socks, underwear. The Washington County Library right now is doing a program through the month of December called Drop Your Drawers, and that's where you can go to the library and drop off a brand new package of boys or girls underwear, and all those packages are going to come to the Washington County Family Resource Center and then the North Washington Family Resource Center. So it's just the basic things that we don't even realize that that kids really need. Those are obviously for accidents or spills, but there's so many kids that come to school without socks or underwear on just because they didn't have any.
Yeah.
So we keep a clothing stocked up, so we take donations of clothing, gently used or new. We love stretchy pants because we can make them fit anybody. We can make them fit short and tall and big and small. So
yeah. And you have an actual clothes closet at the school?
Yes, a big one.
Oh, okay.
And then we keep, off season stored in totes, and we pull them out and restock and all that good stuff.
Wow.
Now, North Washington, we do not have a specific school uniform, so t-shirts, shorts, jeans, and then at Washington County Elementary, they have the dress, the uniform, so a lot of people, once their kids have outgrown them, they'll just take them back to the Family Resource Center for them to use.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
I think they used to have Barbara Pettis at the elementary maybe had a uniform exchange.
Yes.
Where if your kids outgrown their uniforms, they bring them to, someone else gets those, and you take someone else's. Is that correct?
I don't know if she still has that, but that's been something that she's done in the past, and I'd say that would be a great program to continue or to extend. And we've even done things like where Cornerstone Christian Church might have a back to school bash, and we would take uniforms, and people could also bring and donate uniforms and just kind of swap out. There's not always a record keeping or a tit for tat kind of thing. It's just, if you need it and we have it, then we'll give it to you. That's kind of how we do it.
Yeah.
So.
And so now what else does the Family Resource Center do to assist children and families then with those barriers, with other barriers? Say, for example, the child is doesn't have a heated home.
Yeah. We take phone calls and we take referrals from families that need help with utilities assistance or help paying a bill. Sometimes if we have the budget, we can help in a small way, and then other times we refer out to different agencies that may be able to help. And we usually, we try to follow back up and make sure that need was met. Sometimes there's not enough money to go around in these programs to pay for things, but we do our very best to make sure that everybody's needs are covered. So we do help in a lot of different ways, and Community Action is a big help with their LIHEAP program. So we make sure that parents know about that for the heat assistance, and we try to send home information about any kind of program that families might qualify for.
Oh, that's good to know. Yeah. And so then if and people can make donations of money to the Family Resource Center too, can't they?
They can, and they could even designate how they want that money spent. So they could donate. If you write a check and you say, I want the money spent on a utility bill or utility for families in need, they can write that on the check. Or if they say, I want it spent on clothes or I want it spent on school supplies, they can donate and be very specific, or they can be very general, and then we would use it however we see the need. So, absolutely. And
you're considered a nonprofit, or how? I mean, so people could write that off their taxes, couldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's always good.
Absolutely.
So if you want to donate to a charity, those things can be taken off of your tax returns.
Yes, and I like it because it helps local families. It's not going to Louisville or New York or California. It's going right here in your county.
Right.
So I really like that.
Yeah. And now then I suppose there are other things as well that you help with.
Yeah, we do a lot of different programs. We do, a lot of times the kids think of me, Miss Wendy, as just the person who has the clothes. But I do things that they don't really realize. I'm kind of planning behind the scenes, the things like the Fire Prevention Week and the Red Ribbon Week, which is substance abuse prevention, the Safe Schools Week, and the book fairs and things like that, book bingo, and that we have a Born Learning program. So we do a lot of things during the day, and we also have several evening programs too. So Born Learning, Cradle School, most everything.
Now, what's the Born Learning program?
Born Learning is for families with any children newborn to 5 years old, and it's aimed at us helping them be their child's first teacher and to help their children be ready for kindergarten when the time comes. So you might have a newborn, or you might have a 5-year-old, or you might have 2 or 3 in that age range, and we're gonna give you the tools and the information that you need to be ready for kindergarten when the time comes.
The tools, the educational tools?
Yeah,
so
strategies, techniques, ideas of how to instill those ABCs and those 1, 2, 3s, and reading and books. If you don't have books, we've got plenty of books to give out. We have a teacher, Miss Casey, who's our preschool teacher. She actually teaches a parent workshop, and we have 6 workshops for the parents to attend. And they get to learn so much about how the child's brain develops so fast from birth, and just how the whole process works, and how to prevent certain dangers like smoking, and prevent things that people don't realize could really impact their child's learning later on in life. So we do a lot of that in those workshops, and we have childcare for the children during that time too, and where they're learning and they're doing activities and things like that. And we have a free meal at each event.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah, and that's going to start in January.
Is that just for parents who have children at North Washington, or are these parents from all of Washington County?
This can be parents of Washington County or even neighboring counties that want to come. It doesn't matter, and it's children 5 and under, as long as and some of them will have kids that are 4 and 5, and then they might have a 7, 8-year-old too, and they all come. Everybody comes.
And there's daycare provided for the children?
Yes, there's childcare. It's an evening
program.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Daycare, childcare.
Yeah.
It's an evening program, so it's like from 5 to 7 or 5 to 7:30, and we all eat as a big family unit at 5, and then at 5:30 the kids go to the childcare program and the parents go to the workshop, and at the end, the last 30 minutes or so, we all come back together to kind of practice what we learned.
I see.
So, and it's all about using simple everyday materials to help your kids learn. You don't have to have the computer, and you don't have to have the iPad and the Xbox and the video games. You don't have to have any of those things to be ready for kindergarten.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that sounds like a great program.
It is good.
So now, do you send home flyers to all the students so that the parents can just call and say, "Hey, I'd like to enroll in this program"?
And we don't have a maximum number of parents that can come. It's just however many come. We like to try to get an idea so that we can have enough food. But we usually send home something about a month or so in advance to get people ready. And we'll send it home to all the kids, probably up to like 3rd grade. And that way anybody that has a child younger than that would know. And then we'll post it on our school Facebook page, and we'll get the word out through other media aspects as well. Because some families don't have any kids at North Washington, so we're trying to reach them before they get there, but sometimes it's hard to find them.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. So then a parent could just call you at the school and say, "I would like to participate in that," and that program's going to start in January.
Yes.
And your number we'll just call the school, North Washington Elementary.
And that number is 859-375-4038.
Okay.
And my name is Wendy Chesser, and the program that I'm talking about is Born Learning. But, if you wanted to see if there were other programs, you could call and see what else we could offer.
So you mentioned another one right after that.
We do Cradle School.
Cradle School.
That'll be, typically we do Cradle School in the spring, so that'll probably be like every Friday in March. And that'll be, it's kind of like a practice session for preschool. So that'll be if you have a child that's 2 or 3 or even 4 and they've not been in any type of school setting, you can bring your child, and it's every Friday in March, and it'll be 10 to 11:30. Bring them to the school, and we'll do like a mock preschool. So they kind of get an idea of what it's like, and the parents stay with them to kind of see how their child is interacting and kind of get a feel for the school, and it's good.
Yeah.
It's fun. They do snack time, and we do door prizes and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So
And that'll be for children that are coming to North Washington.
it can be
Or it could be
anybody in the county that wants to come is fine. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do they offer that at Washington County Elementary as well?
They do, and usually Washington County Elementary does it in the fall, like September,
Okay.
October. They'll do the Fridays that month, and then we'll do it in the spring, which will probably be in March this year.
Okay. So now, if they have a child that is going to be enrolled at Washington County Elementary, then they would call Washington County Elementary School.
They can.
And would that be Barbara Pettis?
Mhm.
Okay. And then that number is, what is Washington County
I
Elementary?
think it's 336-5490.
5490.
Yes.
Okay. So, or they can look that up. That's
Yeah,
easy
look that
enough
up and
to-
make sure, because
Washington
I'm not
County
positive.
Elementary, that's
Yeah.
easy enough to look up too.
Yeah. But,
So-
and you can register with me or with Barbara Pettis or whoever. You can register any way you want, and then we'll get you signed up to come to Cradle School. It's really fun. Usually the parents have just as much fun as the kids.
Yeah.
And grandparents, babysitters, anybody can bring them. It doesn't have to be
Oh, it doesn't have to be the parent to bring them.
right.
Oh, that's good. Okay, and so then they can also get information regarding this on the website?
Yes, it will be posted on our school Facebook page, our school website, the district website.
Okay, and so the school website page is North Washington Elementary? or-
The district webpage is washington.kyschools.us, and then from there's like a tab for the individual schools. So you could go to North Washington, you could go to Washington County, and then you can see that webpage for those schools. And then the school Facebook page, you just have to search it on Facebook. I
Yeah.
think it's just
Yeah.
North Washington Elementary.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Could be Willisburg or something. Because
yeah.
I guess it's Willisburg, yeah.
It's in Willisburg. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so now, are there any other programs or services that you would like to mention?
We just do so much, and if a family has a need, then they could call me and I could say, okay, we've got this, this, and this that we can help. We have all these different things you can do. I'm trying to think off the top of my head some of the programs that we do.
Well, I think you also do like resource and referrals. So if a child, say what if a child is having some problems at school, maybe they're experiencing some grief or loss, or for example, maybe the teacher then would come to you and say, Wendy, I think this child needs some additional assistance.
Some support.
And then you would contact the parent and say, your child seems to be upset at school, or is there something going on? Is there something we can help with? Don't you do some things like that?
Yes, and what we would do is just contact the parent and say, how can we help?
Yeah.
And that might be through a referral for community-based services, or like a referral for counseling services, therapy within the school. A lot of times the counselors can come to the school and see the child at school, so it's not, you don't have to take off work to take your kid to a therapist, that type of thing. And it's in they're in a comfortable environment, so they're really able to feel better about going to counseling. So we do referrals for that. We could also figure out different techniques for the parents, of what's going to help. If it's a certain problem, we can say, here's some ideas. We would work through how we're going to help with this problem. So yeah, we'd have all kinds of different.
So you're kind of a go-between, sometimes between the school and the parent.
Yes,
You can relate information both ways.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've always tell parents, if there's a problem and you don't know who to call or who to talk to, you can call me and I'll help figure it out. I may not know right off the top of my head, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You're kind of a jack of all trades.
master of none.
Master of none. So, those are, if a parent is having problems with their child's school, or, there's just so many things that could, influence a child's
Right.
situation at school. And we want that child to be able to learn and focus on their school work.
Yeah.
So,
Another thing that we do is a mentoring program. So that would be for kids that really just need a little bit of one-on-one attention. Sometimes it seems a little bit like if they're not paying attention in class or they're really struggling in class, then maybe taking them out of class is not going to help. But sometimes it just depends on the situation. Sometimes taking them out for 30 minutes a week and letting them meet with an adult mentor can mean all the world to them, and they really get motivated and they're ready to learn when they come back into the class. So we have adult mentors who volunteer and who come once a week and meet with they have a match, and they're matched with one child and they meet with that child. And so we would love to have more mentors. If anybody wanted to come and mentor, we try to work around your schedule, but of course it would have to be during the school day. So that's a really good program to be in.
I wasn't sure you all were still doing that program. So, and is that also that's also at the elementary, Washington County Elementary?
Washington County Elementary.
And
middle,
Washington County Middle?
And high school if the children still want to participate. Some kids do and some kids don't.
Yeah.
And then of course at North Washington.
Yeah.
So we
and
try.
so the mentor, an adult, can take them out. And of course you do all the usual checks and
Yes, we do background
checks and things. But that adult would just sit with the child outside of the school, outside of the classroom,
Right.
And but at the school.
Yes, we would have, we have a room that they could use. We have board games and cards, and they could draw or play with Play-Doh, or if it's warm, you could go outside and toss football or take a walk, take a walk through the halls, read a book. There's, tons of different things that they could do in that 30-minute time frame that seems like doesn't really matter, but it means all the world to that child, because that's 30 minutes of uninterrupted time that they have of someone paying attention to them. And that might be the only 30 minutes that they get all week.
Yeah. So that's an excellent program. And so you are in need of volunteers for that program.
We are in need of volunteers for that program. We don't have as many as we once had, so we need to amp that back up.
Yeah. And they could call you, or they could call Barbara at the elementary. Is there another family resource person at the middle or high school?
There's Debbie McIntosh. She's the Family Resource Center assistant at the high school.
Right.
Yeah.
So, or Debbie McIntosh, they could contact at the high school.
Or talk to your child's teacher. Any way you would like to go about it, we can help with that.
So, those are some of the things that you are doing at the Family Resource Centers in order to support these children and families. So, excellent program, Wendy.
Thank you.
And a lot of good things going on, it sounds like.
Yes.
So we want people to be aware of those programs in case they need your services. They can contact you at North Washington Elementary.
Yes.
At
859-375-4038.
Or they can contact Barbara Pettis at Washington County Elementary.
And I believe the number is 336-5490.
Okay. Or Debbie at the high school.
Yes.
I'm not sure what Debbie McIntosh at the high school, but anyone can look those numbers up easily enough. So, and in addition, you need always need or in need of donations.
Yes, yes, clothes, socks, underwear. The library, the public library here in Springfield, is doing the drop your drawers, and I think when you drop off a new package of underwear, you get 50 cents off if you have a late fee.
Oh, that's good.
And then any other type of donations that people would like to make.
Yeah. Yeah, they can just write a check if they want.
Sure.
Yeah.
We won't turn it away.
Yeah. And then, and then the need for volunteers.
Yes.
For the mentoring program.
Mentoring. At North Washington, we also have a program called Watchdogs. The dogs stands for Dads of Great Students, DOGS. And we have dads come in and volunteer one day out of the school year, and they volunteer early, 7:30 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon, and they get a feel for what school is like. So it's great. It's really good. That's at North Washington right now. I believe that may be in the future for Washington County Elementary. So it's a good thing to do. We'll have a kickoff event. We've already had ours this year. dads come and get free pizza with their kids, and then they learn about the program and they can sign up for their preferred day, and it's fun. So most
One
of the
day a
time,
year, and they come in and stay all day.
most of the time they sign up for one day for the whole school year, and then they once their day is over, they sign back up for another day. So because they like it so much.
And they go, do they follow their child around the school day?
They
or-
have a set schedule, so they have a schedule in their hands. When they get there, they go do car rider duty. They help kids get out of their cars and get into the building. They walk the halls and check all the doors and check all the locks. They, it'll say on there at 9 o'clock, go to this room and do this. And then so they'll have time with their child in their child's class, but not the whole day.
Yeah.
They'll go and do different things. And
Yeah.
they have a schedule of what to do. This year, our watchdogs have put together risers, music risers. They've cleaned out a storage shed. They've, this year they'll probably put up a Christmas tree, take down a Christmas tree. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff that just help us out so much. But they really love it. They get a feel for what their school is like and what their child's school day is like. It's so different than when we were kids.
Uh-huh.
So they get to understand how things work and who they can talk to and who they can ask questions. And it helps the dads as much as it helps the kids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a great program.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm glad to know about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so if a father can call and sign up for that too.
Yes, and we do background checks for that as well.
Yeah,
But it's good. They really, really like it.
yeah.
And they don't have to do anything that they're not comfortable doing. I always call them the week before or the week of their day, and I'll say, do you feel comfortable reading out loud, or do you feel comfortable, talking with a group of students about what you do for a living and that type of thing, so that if they say no, then I can plan something else for them.
Okay. So that's really good. Yeah, they don't have to do anything that they're not comfortable
Right,
with.
right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, Wendy, I want to thank you for being here today. I've learned a lot about the Family Resource Center. I thought I knew a lot, but I've learned a lot more. So,
Thank you.
And it's an excellent program, and I appreciate your doing that. And so we just want to encourage people out there to help our Family Youth Service Resource.
Family Resource Youth Services Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frisky.
Frisk.
Yeah, or Frisk.
Either way.
Barbara says Frisk. So thank you very much for being
you.
here.
Thank you.